Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our daily devotions. We're glad that you're here. When I was young, I got pretty into a sport called wakeboarding. And if you don't know what it is, it's just you go behind a boat with a rope out on a lake, and you're on a board like a surfboard, but with boots on it. You hold onto the rope and you cruise behind the boat. And as you get better, as you progress, a lot of times what you try to do is you try to jump across the wake that the boat makes. But what I learned as I was progressing is that when you go to jump across a wake, when you come down for your landing, sometimes you're not exactly where you want to be on the landing. The board gets a little crooked, you kind of get a little off balance. And at that point, you have two choices. One, you can just let go of the rope and kind of ride off, and usually it's not too bad of a crash. Or you can keep holding onto the rope and you can kind of fight to try to get back in control. But the problem is in that situation is if you don't make it, a lot of times the edge of your board catches on the surface of the water and you just get slammed down for a really hard crash, which is way worse than the first way of just letting go of the handle. And the reason why I bring that up is I think that's how life goes for us sometimes. There's constantly times with how much life is changing and everything's up and down and all the different variables that we're facing. There's constantly times where life is not going exactly how we planned or exactly how we wanted, and we feel a little off kilter. We feel like we're kind of out of balance. And at that time, we can either fight to control everything. We can try to make everything go the way that we had planned or the way we wanted or the way we felt comfortable, or we can release some of that control and quit trying to fight everything. We can let God just be the one that knows what's going on and trust that He gets it and let go of our own personal grip some. And usually, from what I've seen, it may not fix everything, but it makes the crash or it makes the consequences way less painful when we choose to trust God instead of trying to do it all our own way and just take control of the situation. Let me read two verses for you before we go. Proverbs 19:21 says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." And Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." So my hope for all of us is that we can really trust God, that we can have some of that peace that transcends understanding, and that as things are always changing and things are always making us feel little off balance, that we don't fight to try to control all of it, but we relinquish that control to God.